Then came Roe v. Wade. It became a landmark legal decision, issued on January 22, 1973, in which the U.S. Supreme Court struck down a Texas statute banning abortion, effectively legalizing the procedure across the United States. The court held the opinion that a woman's right to an abortion was implicit in the right to privacy, protected by the 14th Amendment in the Constitution, making the courts argue, in previous cases, that the right to privacy was connected to the use of contraceptives. They now used the same rhetoric regarding abortion, which was the plan all along. Meanwhile, in 1970, Hawaii became the first state to legalize abortion, although the law only applied to the state's residents. That same year, New York legalized abortion, with no residency requirement. By the time of Roe v. Wade in 1973, abortion was legally available in both Alaska, New York, Hawaii, and Washington. Jane Roe, whom we now know as Norma McCorvey, was just 21 years old when she became pregnant for the third time and sought an abortion in the state of Texas. Texas law, however, stated that a woman could only undergo an abortion if the mother's life was at risk. McCorvey was put in contact with two lawyers, Linda Coffey and Sarah Weddington, who were looking for a pregnant woman to help them build a case to legalize abortion. McCorvey lied and said she had been raped. That lie became the basis for the legal fight against the district attorney of Dallas County, Henry Wade. The lawyers knew that the case would never be finished in time for McCorvey to get an abortion, and she ended up giving birth and placing the child for adoption. In 1994, McCorvey published her autobiography, I Am Roe. At a book signing, McCorvey was befriended by Flip Benham, an evangelical minister, and the national director of the anti-abortion organization Operation Rescue. She converted to evangelical Protestantism and was baptized on August 8, 1995, by Benham in a Dallas, Texas, backyard swimming pool, an event that was filmed for national television. 2 days later, she announced that she had quit her job at an abortion clinic and had become an advocate of Operation Rescue's campaign to make abortion illegal. She voiced remorse for her part in the Supreme Court decision and said she had been a pawn for abortion activists. In 2004, McCorvey sought to have the U.S. Supreme Court overturn Roe v. Wade, saying that there was now evidence that the procedure harms women, but the case was ultimately dismissed in 2005. On January 22, 2008, McCorvey endorsed Republican presidential candidate Ron Paul because of his anti-abortion position. McCorvey appeared in the 2013 film Doomby, in which she delivers an anti-abortion message. She is also the subject of Joshua Prager's 2021 book, The Family Roe, An American Story. She then switched sides again. In a documentary, aka Jane Roe, that premiered on TV station FX, which was filmed at her nursing home in the year before her death, an ailing McCorvey comes out with a self-described shocking deathbed confession. The whole thing was a lie, one that the evangelical movement apparently paid her hundreds of thousands of dollars to participate in. I was the big fish to them, she says dispassionately, breathing through an oxygen tube. I think it was a mutual thing. I took their money, and they put me out in front of the cameras and told me what to say. When the pro-abortion movement used her to get Roe v. Wade passed, she played along, for her own benefit. When the evangelical pro-life movement offered her money to switch sides, she played along once more. We're guessing that she also was well compensated for the new documentary. Self-serving, to the end. The fact that Norma McCorvey has played both sides of the abortion issue for money only speaks to her own moral shortcomings. The facts are still the facts. On Friday, June 24, 2022, the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. This ruling solidifies a decades-long pursuit of the Republican Party in appointing conservative justices to the highest court in the country, one of the defining legacies of Donald Trump's presidency, who appointed Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett, all of whom counted among the 6-3 majority ruling, alongside Justice Clarence Thomas, who was appointed by President George W. Bush. Justice Samuel Alito penned the court majority, arguing that the 1973 ruling and repeated subsequent High Court decisions, affirming Roe, must be overruled because they were egregiously wrong, with exceptionally weak arguments that were so damaging they amounted to an abuse of judicial authority. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote a separate concurring opinion. So, the Supreme Court has now asserted that the right to an abortion is not within the rights afforded to every citizen per the Constitution, and that it's up to the respective states to legislate on this issue. So, what's all the fuzz about? Why is it so important to the radical left and the mainstream media to have the right to abortion cemented in the Constitution? Simple question, with some sinister answers.